Well, new this morning, we know that all three of the victims killed in a shooting overnight at the Michigan State University campus were students. 5 other people are in critical condition as well.
Investigators did identify the shooter, who then killed himself, as 43-year-old Anthony McCrae, and survivors are talking about the terrifying moments. This morning, a tragedy on the campus of Michigan State University.
We're getting reports of multiple victims for an active shooter.
Police say a gunman killed at least 3 people and several others were hurt. Investigators say the shooting began at Berkeley Hall on the north side of campus. Students barricaded themselves inside classrooms as the gunshots rang out. Dominic Malotki was in class at the time.
I'm still beyond shook up. I mean, my legs are still shaking. The shooter came in our room and shot 3 to 4 times. Once he shot those rounds, we waited about 30 seconds to a minute, and it was silent. So we started breaking open one of the windows.
Students were seen running away.
Run! I see these people running in my direction and I sprint. I'm jumping down flights of stairs. Everyone's freaked out, everyone's terrified, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Police responded to another shooting, finding more victims at another building on campus, the MSU Student Union. Investigators released new pictures of the suspect entering that building. Police say he's a 43-year-old man, shorter in stature and wearing distinct red sneakers. But the manhunt came to an end after midnight.
It does appear that that suspect has died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
The shooter's motive, though, is still not clear. He does not appear to have any immediate connection to the university. The shooting is the 67th mass shooting in the U.S. this year, meaning almost 2 a day.
Denver's East High School is closed today after a student was shot near campus Monday. A message to parents said school is canceled to allow the community to seek out mental health and emotional support. The 16-year-old victim is in the hospital. We don't know the condition. Denver police arrested 2 suspects in northeast Denver after a short chase that ended when the suspects flipped a stolen car. Police haven't released any information about their ages or their possible connection to the school. There was another shooting about 20 minutes later near DPS's headquarters building. Police say there was an argument between 2 groups ending in gunfire. 2 people were taken to the hospital. Police do not believe those 2 incidents were connected.
The man accused of killing a Jefferson County canine officer will go before a judge this morning. Eduardo Romero is facing several charges, including animal cruelty. Investigators say Romero ran away from police, leading to a lockdown at the School of Mines in Golden for several hours yesterday. Canine Graffiti located Romero in the woods and was shot as he tried to take him into custody. Graffiti has worked with the department since 2015 in both the narcotics and patrol services. The sheriff's office set up a memorial vehicle for him at the intersection of Jefferson County Parkway and Weimer Street, and it will be there open to the public for a week. The owners of Club Q in Colorado Springs are planning to reopen this fall after 5 people were killed at the LGBTQ nightclub, but there's been some pushback about the timing of the announcement.
Denver 7's Brandon Richard is on the steps of the Capitol, and Brandon, survivors will be there today to protest how donations are being divided in the wake of tragedies.
Yeah, Nicole and Brian, that's right. Club Q management announced their plans to reopen this fall, but now the timing of that announcement coming under criticism from former employees. And yes, as you said, today, survivors of the Club Q shooting will gather here at the state capitol to demand change. Now, last night on social media, Club Q management announced their plans and said that they were fully on track to reopen this fall. Their plans will include a standing tribute to the 5 people killed, along with enhanced security measures when they reopen. They've also determined how money raised through a GoFundMe will be distributed. The GoFundMe was started by the owner to help pay former employees and entertainers who are now without jobs. So far, $55,000 has been raised. Club Q says the payouts will be based on each person's historic average of net monthly earnings, adding that money should start going out this Friday. But some performers and former employees are upset that the reopening plans were announced before they've been paid and say people should come before buildings.
I know, me personally, I have not been back to work since the shooting. I know that some of my friends, the people that were in that bar, a lot of people that were shot that night still have not returned to work. Here we are almost 3 months later from the shooting, and we still have yet to see any of the funds allocated into the Club Q GoFundMe.
Now, Club Q's owner declined our interview request to respond to the allegations. As for the press conference today, people impacted by not only the Club Q shooting, but by several different mass shootings in Colorado will gather at the state capitol to demand change when it comes to how money is raised and distributed after a tragedy. The Colorado Healing Fund, which has also been criticized for how it distributes money, made some changes last month, including bringing in a navigator who organizers say is a trusted member of the LGBTQ community and will be able to help victims access resources. We're live at the state capitol. Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
Okay, thank you, Brandon. Well, a former Loveland police officer convicted of assaulting a woman with dementia could be moving out of prison and into a halfway house. Austin Hopple will appear before a Weld County Community Corrections Board tomorrow. He was sentenced last year to 5 years in prison, but could get out after serving only 9 months. This video shows the violent arrest of Karen Garner back in June of 2020. Hop had pleaded guilty last March for the encounter that left Garner with a dislocated shoulder, a broken arm, and bruises.
A proposal for new environmental rules in Colorado could cost building owners and tenants more than $3 billion to stay in compliance. It's part of a plan to reduce energy use. The proposed rule would apply to nearly every building in the state with more than 50,000 square feet of floor space. It would require some upgrades and a lot of money to make the buildings more energy efficient by the year 2050. But opponents say building owners could pass on some or all of the cost of implementation to tenants, which they say may lead to higher rents. No word on the status of this proposal right now. Congresswoman Diana DeGette will meet with constituents today to talk about efforts to help them with their utility bills. A proposed bill in Congress would expand assistance for low-income earners or those who spend more than 3% of their income on their utilities. That meeting is today at 10:30 a.m. in DeGette's Denver office.
The Denver Central Library will reopen at a temporary space starting today as the building undergoes construction. Floors 2 through 7 are still closed, but on the west side of the building, across from the Denver Art Museum, the temporary space will offer limited services like the Children's Library and an area to pick up items on hold.
Creating more affordable housing and preserving homes already in place. We're taking an in-depth look at 3 new housing bills, each taking a unique approach to keeping Coloradans in homes that they can afford.
And Barney, the purple dinosaur, is making a comeback with a rebooted series. How Mattel plans to tap into the nostalgia and a new generation of young fans.